All right, so we're going to recap Red Sox Rays on June 4th. This one was ugly. It was ugly. But honestly, it just highlights what needs to be addressed with this team is number one, the middle infield is a joke. It's not on a major league level. It might not even be AAA level. This might be like Portland Sea Dogs level, AA middle infield. I mean, you have guys stepping up to the plate because they really have nobody, but it's not good. You basically have Kike Hernandez right now as your shortstop, leading the league in errors consistently throughout the whole season. It was getting close, but then he just commit two more, so he's at 13 errors. It's bad. It's bad. Uh, Shortstop's the most important position in the infield, of course, and the Red Sox The Red Sox just failed to field for that. I mean, Yu Chang went down, obviously. Trevor Story, they're waiting on those guys, but it's going to be a long road till they get here. Anyways, Tanner Houck comes in. He gives you 5. Corey Kluber in the bullpen now is honestly the correct move. He could have done better in the 6th, but it wasn't too bad, I'd say. And then Ort closing the game. Ort back from AAA. Humbled probably, doing a little better. Love to see that. The bats, what you need this team to do to stay in these games, they could not. It's tough because potentially they could have 3 All-Stars. You could have Verdugo, Devers, and Yoshida all make the All-Star. Also, all 3 of them could miss it. This is a 500 team at best right now. They're on and off. They need to have a big stretch. Starting with this game today on the 5th, the last game against Tampa, they got to even the series, at least tie it, and then move on to greener pastures. The big story of this game, though, because it was definitely winnable, is the error. So we're gonna react to that now. So basically, you have Kluber and Diaz, and it's a 1-2 count. Diaz makes contact. Yep. So it's gonna go to Verdugo, throws it in. Now they're gonna swing it back to Wong, and yeah, that's where it begins. So that play is pretty terrible. You can see the idea is to prevent a run. Wong throws it in quick. I don't put this on Wong. I put it on the middle infield, which have been the weakest middle infield, and it's costing this team wins. It's bad. Wong throws it in. I mean, you have 2 guys there. You have Valdez and Kike, and it goes right through both of them. And that's just unacceptable. That's not on a major league level. It's not good. It's not good. I know Cora, you can put a lot on him. He takes ownership as a good coach would, you know, as opposed to some other coaches that would say, hey, we won the first 3 innings or something. You know, it's nothing like that, but essentially they need help in the infield, and it's bad. Now Arroyo's coming back soon. I think he's in Worcester, but Arroyo isn't a defensive guy. Really, Trevor Story is, and you're waiting till after All-Star break. So honestly, you're gonna have to live with the runs allowed based on the errors. That's just how it's gonna be. The bats need to be better. The bats need to be better. They need to click late in games, just like Game 1 of this series with a big 9th inning comeback. The bats need to click. That's the only thing that's going to keep them in this wild card race. Because currently they're in dead last in the AL East, and they are at 30 and 29 currently. 11 games back of Tampa. I mean, you're not catching Tampa, but if you could scratch your you're 3.5 of Toronto, and then you're 4 back of New York, 6 back of Baltimore. You're probably not catching them, but the argument for the division, while I see what that is about, because 30 and 29, you'd be second place in the Central. You'd be in third, third or fourth over in the West. Well, I can see the argument. That's not what this is about. You've been in the East forever. The last thing I want to recap before we end is the narrative about the Boston Red Sox fans. You can hear in the clip that they're booing this play. This is a little league home run that is just a clown show, really. Like it's little league baseball errors. You can hear the crowd booing. You can hear them booing, and that's where I go against this narrative being pushed by WEI. Not all of WEI. Some people know what they're talking about, but there's a select few that believe that the fans there are not even paying attention to the game. But if you're actually watching the game with the sound on, you can hear the fans that are booing. That's just a little rant at the end. Um, don't listen to everything you hear, obviously. I mean, you don't even have to take everything I say. Some of it's just with a grain of salt, of course, but there are narratives being pushed by people that honestly aren't even watching. So that's just my take. The Red Sox move on to play one more game against Tampa, and then we're off to Cleveland. You got to take care of Cleveland. They can win those games, and then you got New York. Big stretch for them before the All-Star break. Hopefully we can do some damage.